Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and I'm back once again with the Renegade Master. Basically this is just a channel chat, channel update kind of thing. So there's nothing of serious content in here. Although I am going to talk a little bit about maybe the UK Nationals for Legion, maybe a project I'm working on for Legion. That's probably about it. The first thing, just in case I've put this in the title, I currently don't have a job. So I've been made redundant. Not really a problem, you know, financial changes and rearrangements at the company. It's fine. For those of you who don't know, if you get made redundancy, you get like an amount for how long you've been there. And I've been there quite a while, so financially I'm not at like any immediate risk. Obviously, I'm looking for a job. If anybody of you knows of a job well, no, not a job, something a little bit more like substantial, because don't just send me links to like job adverts or anything. That would be silly. But you know what I mean? If you maybe work at a company in the northwest of the UK or something, maybe like DM me on Discord or something. Give me a job. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's the thing. So at the minute, I have quite a lot of time, but I don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money, which I think is reasonable, and nothing crazy there. The one thing I would like to say is I know on my videos these days I'm trying to mention Patreon, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to beg for any kind of financial gain here. Do not support me on Patreon because of this. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want to support me on Patreon because of the content and that kind of thing, fine. Don't feel like charity barrender or anything. Well, I'm definitely not at that stage. It's weird. I'm not sure how much we get on Patreon each month, but I would need probably something like 30 times what we get on Patreon to try and do this full time. So that's as they say, not happening. There is no cat in hell's chance. Although I really appreciate it, because that goes towards like models and stuff like that I wouldn't normally buy. And at the minute, I'm sort of just spending those on the models that I would buy, or at least that's my goal. So then I don't feel bad, say, like spending money on the models, if that makes sense. So yeah, don't try and support me on that. It's not really like the right thing to do. So that's the job situation. Give me a job if you know of a job. Patreon, don't support me on Patreon because of this. If you do want to support me on Patreon because you think, wow, this guy is so good, so funny, so good looking with his giant spots on his forehead, then yes, okay, do support me there. But that's about it. Then let's talk about the channel as a whole. So as I said, I've got a lot of time, not that much money necessarily. What I also don't have, though, is fiber optic broadband. Now, that might be coming in the next couple of weeks or months. Which is at least a better sign than what we were told of 2019. Now, if I already had that, I would have been streaming and stuff like that. But because we don't, I sort of can't. It also limits the kind of content, because I don't want to do battle reports, because battle reports are long videos. I don't want to upload them because we have a data cap. So I can't really do battle reports either. So it has sort of been limiting the kind of content I can do. I am trying to work on some terrain, because I feel like that's something that takes time, and time's sort of the thing that I've got, and I always try and use cheap materials anyway. A little sneak peek of something I've 3D printed, but that's not everything's going to be 3D printed, and I will give you the files when I talk about this. Anybody guess off that little short little thing what it, not just what it is, because it's a building, but what it is, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll try and do some terrain. I want to do like a Legion series of terrain, and then I'll probably try and do something for like Kill Team, but I've not 100% made my mind up. I keep going through different options like Tyranids, Dark Elves, blah de blah. But I think I've settled on it. I just need to pull my finger out of my backside and do it. So that's terrain, what I'm doing on the channel. The job, I've covered that. There is, so Legion wise, rather annoyingly, there's a side event at the UK FFG UK Nationals this Friday. The temptation to go is very high, but I almost can't justify the money to go. Either I pay like 50 quid for the train on Friday morning, or I pay maybe £30 for a hotel, go Thursday night, pay 20 plus quid parking, and you end up spending the same. The cheapest way would obviously be to drive down Friday morning, but that's a like 5 o'clock start on a bank holiday Friday. I'm really tempted to try the 5 o'clock method, because the registration is from 9 till 9:30 for Legion, and if all the tickets go, I'm done, because it's only a 16-person side event. But the registration for X-Wing I think closes at like 10 or 11, so I'm tempted to take my first edition X-Wing stuff. I've not played first edition X-Wing in over a year, because I'm like waiting for X-Wing 2.0, and I've been buying stuff with that in mind. But I do have some ships and some cards that I could make a 100-point list. It would be terrible, but I could make it, and that's the important thing. I could maybe try a swarm. Can't even fly a swarm. That'd be a terrible idea. And I don't have any like big ships. Maybe I'll get Katie's Millennium Falcon and we'll try Fat Han. But yeah, like that's the UK Nationals. It's not a Legion event. It's all of FFG games. Legion at the minute is a side event. Hopefully they'll pick it up for next year. At least I think that's what they'll happen. And look, to illustrate the point of not having a job, I'm in my bum t-shirt, which is basically the one that I painted and just dust around in sometimes. Trying to think, is there anything else? Like, I came on and I was like, yes, I've got this and this to talk about. With the I may have dropped something, the building I was holding. With the FFG stuff that I was talking about, I've been very quickly trying to speed paint my bloody stormtroopers. I dislike painting, even speed painting. It just does my nutting. I just wish I could get everything painted very easily. I've not helped myself, because with these I've decided to do like a studio. You can't really see this very well because it's white and it's overblown, but I've done purple stuff here and the purple belt. If I just don't do stuff like that, I can speed myself along by just giving it a wash and calling it done. And I've decided I'm pretty happy to just go full on speed paint with pretty much everything I have, because I can't keep up with the stuff that's coming out. Hopefully if I get a job, I'll just keep buying stuff, because that's the way I was going as it is. Like there's Han and the Commandos, probably still going to buy them. But then it's like, and then what comes after that? Boba Fett. I need Boba Fett in my life. So yeah, I really, really need to settle on just like speed painting my stuff and not being bothered. Because like, I can spend, I think almost the more time you put in, the better it will be. Unless you're like, maybe not competent enough, which is fine, but I know like I can make my stuff better if I just take the time to learn it, if that makes sense. I'm not that I could do right now, but I could get a miniature, practice on it, then the next one will be better, and so on and so on. But I don't care about that. I just want to play the games. The game to me is the most important thing. So I just need to accept like speed painting them. Like I sped painted most nearly to completion my kill team for the Space Marines. They're nearly done. I could probably finish them in a day, so not really a problem there. Yeah, that's it basically. Some terrain for Legion should be coming. The internet should be coming in a couple of weeks / months. I think it'd be less than 2 months, but it might be a month. Less than 2 months, but it might be a month. But it could be something like 2-3 weeks for all I know. Yes, internet's coming. No job. Legion terrain is coming. Legion event on Friday, which I'm still sort of tempted by. Kill team terrain is also coming. If you like the content, support me on Patreon. There'll be a link in the end. It's unavoidable, because I want to thank my Patreons and stuff like that. I do really appreciate it. But as I said, I will get a job. Don't worry about that. Like, that's not a problem. And the amount on Patreon is nowhere near enough to cover the bills and stuff like that. So do not, 100% do not support me on Patreon because you think, oh, he's lost the job, I'll give him some money. It's not worth doing that. If you like the content and you want to see me produce more and you really like it that way, then do so. I hope I made that clear, because I honestly, truly mean that. But I really do thank anybody who's supported me so far or is considering doing for any reason. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to trail off whilst I find the button that says stop recording, and I'm going to say like and subscribe. Don't like these videos. But do subscribe and have a most beautiful, beautiful day. Goodbye.